All right, entrepreneurs, I want to talk about how being lazy can grow your business and make you rich. See, what most people think is that you have to hustle and grind. We've all heard that hard work will get you ahead, but is that's not how it works when you really want to grow your business. And this is something that I work with a lot of my clients on. So here's what I mean. When you are hustling and grinding, when you're trying to post on all the social medias, when you're trying to work 12-hour days, you're missing a lot of things. You might have some early success if you hustle and grind, but it's not going to let you grow your business, and it's not going to let you get rich. So here's what's happening is that you don't create systems, you don't delegate, you keep doing the same things you're doing that got you here, but what got you here won't get you to where you want to go, which is to grow your business, to help more people, to scale, and ultimately also keep things going, keep your mission going. When I was working in bike shops, I was so tired all the time. I would work, an 8 or a 10-hour day in a bike shop, and then I would have to go home and I would be sitting on my couch and I think, oh my gosh, I have to go and train for another 4 hours on the bike. I was so exhausted. I was skipping lunch breaks just to take naps. Literally, I was just sleeping outside in the little green strip between the sidewalk and the street so that I could get a little bit of rest so that I could keep going. And I was working so hard, and I was making probably $10 an hour, $12 an hour, right? I wasn't getting rich. I wasn't being the most productive I could be because, and especially if you're an entrepreneur, right? If you don't have systems, if you don't know what the best outcome of your time is, what's the most valuable economic thing you're doing right now? Do you know what is the best use of your time in terms of productive output? How will your career be measured? How will you know? Like Picasso, right? His career output was measured in how many amazing paintings. He was prolific, but he wasn't measured on how many social media posts or emails he answered or any of that stuff. It was the high quality paintings and artwork that he created. So how is your entire career going to be managed? And can you sustain that productive output if you're hustling and grinding all the time? Or is it going to cause you to crash and get, adrenal fatigue in 6 months? Or is it going to damage your family relationships and your friendships because you don't see anybody anymore, and then you don't have the emotional support, and it's not sustainable anyway? So you might be able to hustle and grind for a month or a year or even 5 years, but that's not what ultimately is going to maximize your contribution in the world. And so when I think about being lazy, what I mean is that yes, you will have bursts of activity. Yes, you will take action quickly, but you also need to create space for stillness. And in this stillness, you will allow your own intuition and your own process to guide you in the right direction. You'll be able to make business decisions not based on what everyone is yelling at you that you really need to be doing. You need to post more on Pinterest. You need to get on TikTok. You need to, send an email out to your list 3 times a day. All these things that people are telling you, right? Because some part of it has worked for them, but there's so many inputs and you think you just have to run. But if you're lazy and you create stillness, then you can pick and choose which bullets you want to fire. Warren Buffett says, think about investing like you can only make 10 investments in your entire lifetime, right? So think about your work. You can only do 10 big business projects in the course of your business. So that means not launching 52 things. That means focusing and doing the absolute right thing that's also in alignment with the highest and best use of your time on earth, looking at the bigger picture. And you have to create stillness to make that possible. Now, there's another thing that happens from being lazy is that it allows you to progress. So when we were doing a lot more traveling, and I was we were moving from one country to another, and I wanted to keep the podcast coming out even while we were traveling, even while I was off the grid. I still wanted the podcast to come out on a regular, consistent basis. So what I had to do was I had to say, here's what I'm not going to be doing. What is the small amount of input that I need to do? Can I train people ahead of time? Can I automate this using technology somehow? And then, can I just disappear for a couple weeks from the business? And thinking and planning to do that makes it so that you have to set these things up. And that's then from then on, right? That's set up, and you've invested in creating this time for yourself, in creating time for you to be lazy. So these elegant solutions, you're investing in how you can be more lazy so that you have time to think strategy, to think about the bigger picture, to think about your messaging and your branding and all of these things that will make you an effective CEO more than just an effective hustler. And I'm not saying that there aren't going to be times when you're going to be working long days. And especially when you're kickstarting or launching something. When I was getting people to support Superconductors, my first book, I had about 400 conversations over the course of a month. So I definitely was hustling and grinding. But I needed to leave space before and after that to know that the book was the right thing for me to be doing at that time. And then space to be able to write the book, to allow creativity to happen. Because when you're overworked, when you're working too hard, when you're just feeling like you have to put force into the business, it doesn't allow for this natural creative process to happen. You need some space for that. So here's your takeaway. Here's your call to action for today. And this is all part of the Thought Leaders MBA. This is part of what I teach in the LEAP method for quantum entrepreneurship. The Thought Leaders MBA is one of the pillars of that system. And you need to understand business, but you need to understand the basics, but you also need the strategy to be able to grow. Like as you go from just starting to 6 figures to 7 figures and beyond, there's different ways you need to be showing up. And getting more and more lazy is going to allow you to keep growing your business. So your call to action for today is, what can you eliminate? How can you create stillness in your life? What are the most valuable uses of your time? And if you had to stop doing a bunch of stuff, what would you remove from your schedule? I think I already asked you that. So let that sit and see if you can create some stillness and create some space, because right now we're all in the middle of this wonderful quarantine where external circumstances have created space for a lot of people. So use that space. Don't just try to keep going as normal and continue hustling, but use this time to determine what is the best course for you. Create stillness and allow creativity and insight to come through. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.